Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley live with you at this 8 o'clock hour now with a pretty good update, honestly, on our storm situation, or a little bit lack thereof. At this point, the threat of severe weather is pretty low for our area. Low enough that, in fact, a severe thunderstorm watch that was in effect for us until about 10 o'clock this evening has been canceled, at least for our part of North Carolina. That pinkish shade does indicate that the severe thunderstorm watch continues across the Raleigh area, parts of eastern North Carolina too, but not for us. We're actually in the all clear zone at this point. So I want to kind of set the scene for you, let you know where it has been a little bit more stormy, what's going on in those areas, and kind of what we have going on for us for the rest of the evening. Here's what I see right now on the radar picture. If we look over the last couple of hours, this is a loop that goes back to around 5 o'clock or so, and you can see a couple of different lines of showers and storms that pushed through our area. For us, we mostly had some rain and occasional thunder and lightning, specifically between that 4, 5, 6, and 7 o'clock time frame. And then a little bit closer to right now at 8 o'clock, we're still seeing a few showers and thunderstorms pushing up toward Rockingham County, Caswell County, and Danville, Virginia. Now, farther off to the east, you can see it's quite a different story here. This shower and thunderstorm actually was in our region a few hours ago. It's gotten stronger and stronger as it's pushed off to the east. This is now kind of near the Rocky Mount area a little bit. Rocky Mount right about there, so it's a little bit north of it. But either way, it's been kind of intensifying a little bit in this part of North Carolina. You can see there's a severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County, Halifax, Nash, and Warren counties here. Lots of lightning, decent amounts of hail possible as well, and really just very, very heavy rain. That's going to make for a very difficult drive along I-95 closer to the 8:30 hour. Now, this is Nightdale just on the east side of Raleigh, Zebulon over here too. Heavy rain pushing through that region with some gusty winds, pretty likely also. This too is pushing over toward I-95. So not for nothing, it's making up for some lost time and kind of picking up intensity a little bit just to the east of Raleigh. Now, hail has been indicated in those storms as they moved across Wake County near Holly Springs, Fuquay, Varina, over toward Wendell as well. A little bit of hail possible earlier today in the Raleigh region. Now, in the wider view, again, that's the main event. That line of showers and storms has all pushed off to the east of us, and so far we're not really seeing all that much of redevelopment behind it. So what happens when you get showers and thunderstorms that roll through an area that's been warm and humid? They cool things down. They make it a little bit more stable, and they just make it harder for new storms to pop up on their own and get going. So it kind of stabilizes things in a way. All that being said, the actual cold front is still back, moving over Tennessee and into the North Carolina mountains. So that's what we're going to watch going through the rest of the evening. I'm expecting it to be moving through here more or less between 10 and 11 o'clock as we get into the end of the evening. And probably no redevelopment there, but don't be totally shocked if we see another shower or thunderstorm. This is the view a little bit earlier. We're in Raleigh here. This is up near the North Hills part of town, right there along the highway. And you can see those darker clouds and even those lower level clouds as well off in the distance. That can be what we sometimes call a shelf cloud or even a wall cloud that moved through parts of Wake County. Again, that was a little while ago, closer in that 7 o'clock hour. Live view as of 8 o'clock in the Asheville area. And a couple of things I wanted to point out to you. Obviously, there's a little bit of clearing here. Clearing sky indicating storms pushing away, rain pushing away as well. But if you've been following the news over the last 10 days or so, the wildfire situation has been really challenging in western North Carolina. And we've talked a lot about the Asheville area. On this specific camera view, we were noticing over the last several days a lot of wildfire smoke right over here. That would be the Crusoe fire that was going on. Now, a lot of improvement has happened in the weather situation for the fires. Our humidity has been up over the last couple of days, and today there was some rainfall as well. Now, it's really difficult to put out a forest fire completely, and another dry day with gusty winds, it can bring it back, but it's really nice to see better air quality, less smoke, and rainfall out in western North Carolina. They sure need it for sure. Now, Burlington earlier today had some showers and thunderstorms that rolled through Alamance County, bringing some thunder and lightning and heavy rain on occasion as well. Here's the view in High Point earlier today in parts of southern Guilford County. You can see some decent rain, and now we too are seeing some of these clearing skies to a degree. We're not there completely yet. The cold front hasn't pushed through, but again, this is a sign of things changing. In Greensboro, we had some downpours, thunder and lightning at one point, but now closing in on 8 o'clock, things have settled down to a point and to a degree. And in Winston-Salem earlier, it'll be a little bit harder to see here with the rain on our lens, but again, nice to see the rain pushing in. There have been some showers and thunderstorms, but good to kind of wash the air out of a lot of the pollen that's been giving a lot of us fits as well. Maybe it washes it off your car, but certainly washes out the sky as well. Earlier today, some dramatic clouds in Randleman. That photo coming into us from Jonathan Jones. And you can see the winds a little bit gusty here on the flagpoles when that shower pushed on by. Now, from an airborne perspective, this is that same storm from Level Cross and Randleman. You'll notice the lowering of the clouds here. Sometimes that can get us into trouble if there's rotation, but today the storms were just never really able to organize in that way to pose a tornado threat. So that's good news for us. What it did do was bring some gusty winds on occasion and mostly just downpours and some thunder and lightning. Now, I mentioned how those storms can kind of cool things down. Temperatures here are in the 60s. Earlier, we were in the upper 70s, even close to 80 degrees. Now, right now, we're still waiting on that front to push on by, but it will be crossing our area closer to around 11 o'clock, and then we will have that final all clear with this system. A little bit of showers and thunderstorms, too, as I mentioned earlier. Parts of Danville, Reedsville, Rockingham County seeing some of this heavier rain. No problems here. It's just rainfall. Gusty winds possible as well. Right along 29 from Ruffin down to Reedsville over a Wentworth too. You get a lot of that rainfall making for lower visibility and kind of a difficult drive, but that's all there is to it. Nice to get some rain into the ground at this point. Now over in Kernersville, you're seeing a little bit of a shower there in K Vegas. We have this as well near Colfax, and up to Oak Ridge, you're getting a little bit of that rain too. Not all that bad in Winston-Salem or Walkertown at the moment. And the farther south you go, where it was really rocking and rolling earlier with storms, it's been quiet, and we're seeing that kind of calming effect in Randolph County. Do look out for maybe an extra shower or two popping up over the next hour when that cold front starts to slide on by, but overall, we're starting to calm down, and same goes for the Charlotte area. Now, here's the actual cold front. It is producing some showers in maybe a rumble of thunder as it's moving over the North Carolina mountains. I would bet it gains a little bit of steam yet again closer to 10 and 11 o'clock, so we'll have those updates for you. Now, again, these severe weather threat levels, they don't come from us. They're from the National Weather Service and specifically the Storm Prediction Center. They haven't updated this yet. I would bet they're going to drop us down to a level 1 risk at this point, if that. Here's what our model says as we go through the rest of the evening. Once we get closer to 9 o'clock, everything is winding down, as we said, and especially by 8 and 9 and 10 o'clock. There could be a couple more little showers that pop up closer to midnight, but that would be about it for us. So I wouldn't worry anymore about storm threats. I think we're pretty much done with any sort of damaging wind concern. Certainly for hail and tornadoes, that's not likely to happen. Rainfall potential. A lot of our area, we did see some rain with this system. Our model was estimating between about a half an inch to 1 inch in some spots, but overall our totals were a bit lower than that across the area. Here's just a small sampling. Winston-Salem, you got about a half an inch of rain. Reedsville did too, so did Burlington, but not everybody. Greensboro at PTI saw quite a bit less than that for some reason. Boone got about a half an inch. Wilkesboro about a quarter of an inch of rain. So these totals are pretty low. We are in drought conditions still. It'd be nice to get more. We just weren't really able to make it happen this time with the way that the storms were. Now, where do we get more rainfall? Well, we're not really going to find it over the next day or two. In fact, weather will be pretty quiet for us for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Toward the end of the week, the main talker is going to be heat. Hot weather is building in with 80s taking over by the end of the week. The next threat for some rain would be Sunday night into Monday morning. That is when you have a decently good chance of getting some showers and maybe thunderstorms back in here, but not until then, so we're pretty quiet in the near term. Take a look at the forecast. Temperatures in the 60s the next couple of days, cooler mornings in the 40s, and then low 80s for Thursday, upper 80s for Friday. We'll call for mid 80s for the upcoming weekend, with the chance of rain mostly being there Sunday night into Monday morning. That's your News 2 forecast.